Something big is happening this quarter, and most retail investors won't see it until it's too late. While the headlines keep everyone distracted with Bitcoin ETFs and election noise, a quiet liquidity rotation is already underway. It's happening inside central banks, payment networks, and digital settlement systems, and it's bigger than any single crypto narrative. But here's the thing, if you hold XLM or QNT, you're not on the sidelines of this move. You're standing right where the next liquidity wave is about to hit. Because right now, governments, banks, and institutions are quietly testing the exact rails that these two projects were built for. And while traders keep chasing the next meme coin, the real money is positioning in silence. This quarter isn't about hype, it's about alignment. The IMF, the World Bank, and the BIs are all running digital settlement pilots, not on random blockchains, but on ISO 20022 compliant networks. And that's exactly where Stellar and Quant sit. Stellar is already integrated into payment corridors across Africa, Asia, and Latin America, being used to move stablecoins and digital fiat between borders faster than ever before. Every single one of those integrations strengthens its real-world utility, quietly, without fanfare. Meanwhile, Quant's overledger isn't just connecting crypto networks. It's bridging entire financial systems, banks, enterprises, even governments, without them having to rebuild their tech. That's the invisible layer nobody talks about, but every major institution needs. It's not about speculation, it's about infrastructure being turned on piece by piece. And when Eric Trump mentioned strategic liquidity realignment, he probably didn't realize how loaded that phrase actually was. Because that's what's happening right now, a coordinated restructuring of how value moves. Old financial rails like SWIFT are being tested for replacement, and new digital settlement networks are being wired in their place. That's not a theory, that's confirmed by the very institutions leading the next phase of finance. When this transition completes, liquidity won't move where it used to. It'll flow through rails that are compliant, interconnected, and instant, and that's exactly where XLM and QNT are sitting, in the front row of a trillion-dollar infrastructure shift. But here's the part most investors miss. Institutional money doesn't move emotionally, it moves through policy triggers. And this quarter, multiple triggers are aligning at once. US stablecoin regulation is gaining bipartisan traction, Europe's MiCA framework just went live, and Asia is rolling out cross-border CBDC pilots through the BIs. Each of those steps requires interoperability, and that's exactly what Stellar and Quant were built for. So while retail traders chase hype and headlines, institutions are locking in positions that support real-world integration. And when liquidity finally flows through these networks, it won't trickle, it'll flood. Let's make one thing clear. This isn't about predicting prices, it's about recognizing timing. When infrastructure becomes essential, value follows. And both Stellar and Quant are crossing that threshold right now. Look at the data. Institutional wallets have been quietly accumulating ISO-aligned assets for months, even while the overall market stayed flat. That's not noise, that's preparation. When the shift happens, it won't make headlines right away. It'll start as silent adoption, banks settling test payments, regulators approving pilots, and liquidity flowing quietly into networks built for compliance and speed. And by the time retail investors notice, the repricing will already be in motion. So while everyone else keeps asking if regulation will kill crypto, the truth is, it's about to make projects like XLM and QNT unstoppable. Because the future of digital money won't rely on hype, it'll rely on systems that can actually move value safely across borders. And that's the game Stellar and Quant have been playing from day one. Stay sharp this quarter, and watch the partnerships, not the prices. Because when liquidity starts flowing, visibility follows. And by then, the real opportunity is already gone. No financial advice, just education and perspective. If this helped you see what's really happening behind the scenes, drop a comment below. Which project do you think will lead the next institutional wave, Stellar or Quant? And if you want to stay ahead of the Q4 liquidity shift, hit subscribe, because we're tracking every move that matters before the headlines catch up.